Hello guys, good evening. Alright, so in this video I want to show you how I created the design. Now I had to just prepare a loop, but very small. Then the width can be 0.5 or less than that. Then the length can be 4 inches. Then I had to thread at the both ends, and then I had to tie it in this manner. Now the tying is to make sure the knot is at the middle of the loops, right? So just stay tuned and watch how I will use this loop to create a fanciful and a beautiful design on my senator flap area and the pockets. Now I have the loops as many as possible. Let's just say 20 loops of this size and length. Then I tie them one after the other, right? Please stay tuned and watch the video to the end. If you're a first time viewer, please kindly subscribe to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, you are highly welcome. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you learn something meaningful from this, and also comment and tell me where you're watching me from, right? So let's get to understand the whole processes I am undergoing, trying to tie all of them, then tying all of them gradually, carefully, and making sure that it's coming out nicely. So this is how you do yours. So I made sure I had to tie them by myself, and the knot should be at the middle, right? Alright, so now the knot should be at the middle. Then I try to make sure it's properly tied. Then tie all of them one after the other, right? So just see how I am dragging it very well, and watch how it's positioned on the center of the loop. Then this is my pocket. I use color gum to carve the shape, and then cut out a black fabric and follow the edge, and then I had to place this at the middle this way, and then I will thread all through that way. Alright, so now I am trying to make sure everything is properly positioned, and you have to be the one to align it at the point where you want it to be, right? So you carefully pin the machine needle, and then I am going to insert as many as I want, and make sure I position the knot at the midpoint of the pocket, right? Now bear in mind that this can be done with another fabric of your choice, but I want to have the underneath black showing, right? So that is why I use black as the base, and then why I retain the same yellow. So you can decide to use any color that matches that is matching, and make sure it's properly arranged, right? So you carefully insert them and then thread at the tip. Now this threading must be done tip to tip, and then that is the essence of a neat finishing, when you are able to achieve a tip to tip threading. Now most of us will be having some confusions on the cutting and everything, but please, I want to let us know that before you proceed, you must make sure you are well grounded in the regular senator drafting, so that it will give you an edge to understand a whole lot of things, and to make sure that you follow the conventional rules in cuttings, pattern making, in drafting, stitching, preparations, and finishing, right? So these are more what you should do. So sorry, I have to on my light so that I can see the tip of the fabric very well. I know the light might be reflecting on the camera, but please pardon me so that I can thread it properly the way I want. So now I am threading the down area of the pocket. Now I had to do the pocket first, so I will know the extent which these loops will be left, so I will know how to fill the flap area. Just stay tuned to the end of the video and make sure you learn a lot, and then comment, tell me how impactful this video or any of my previous videos might have been to you. And also the feedback will help me to know where and which topic to teach next. That is why I have to hear or read your comments in all my videos to know where to answer the questions from, and know the stage which I should start making more videos for you guys to watch. Now don't forget that this channel is out to help grow you in the male garment construction and stitching, right? So I will be posting videos as often as possible, and make sure you watch them to the end. Invite your friends to subscribe to the channel and share the videos to all platforms you can. So I have threaded this edge, so look at how neatly finished. I want to thread the edge of the pocket so that it will conceal the black that is underneath. So I'm threading the tip before I proceed to the next stage. So now you can see how beautiful our pocket came out. This is how it is. Now you have to cut off every threadings underneath and then trim the black fabric excesses. Now don't forget that the black mouth was folded before I used it to achieve the design, right? So the tip of the black that is facing toward the pocket opening was folded, and I used hemming gum to hem it, very very important. And then after that you trim the excesses so that it will not give a puffy effect. So take your time and trim the excess of the loops of the black, and then once you are done with this is the pocket we have. So see how neatly sewn it is. So I'll go and iron before I fix to the main outfit, right? So just make sure you thread properly. So I want to thread the second line in order to achieve a nice realization or finishing effect. So I'm threading from this other area. So now guys, I believe this video is teaching you a lot already in making something similar and something more precise like this, right? So I know sometimes it's kind of so I was saying that sometimes I know it's kind of hard for you to understand, but if you have followed my illustrations and my teachings properly, you must have learned a lot already, and then you will be guided on the whole process. So look at the finishing, right? So this is the finishing I have here. So now it's now time for me to do the flap. Please note that the black flap, the black underneath fabric I have, the width is 5 inches width by the length of 9. Now I folded 1 inch at the top area. Now that folding is to help you give it a nice finishing at the up region. Then this is the flap I have. I use color gum to cut out exact of the size which I want to see on the opening part of the front senator, because this is called the inner flap or inside flap, which we slitted the front body of the senator to insert the flap inside, right, and not placed on top. So now I use hairstay. I gummed the front panel of the flap, then I slitted the midpoint, and then I gave a notch at the base where I want the length of the flap to end. Then I folded to the choice of my flap size I wanted, so which I wanted it to be 1.2, 1.3. So I had to insert this way. Now the black will be on top of the both flaps, right? So I am trying to position it properly where it will give me a nice relaxation. Now don't forget that I use color gum to gum the flap, and this is what makes the work very neat and strong and firm, right? So once you gum the flap this way, you will now gradually arrange it. Now it's advisable that you use pin to hold all of that, and then make sure you overlap it properly without having any gap. Then all these things is properly explained in this video if you carefully watch it to the end, and also make sure that you don't skip or fast forward the video, because there might be some hidden tricks that you might not see if you had fast forwarded. So just watch the video to the end. So sorry for the light is reflecting, but I have to leave it on so that I can see clearly on the part I am threading, right? So I will bring my pin now and pin all of the positionings. I have positioned them so that it doesn't shift or alter, because at the end of the day, I don't want to lose the flap or have any serious corrections to make. So I have to off the light of the machine in order for you guys to see properly, right? So now trying to balance the flap at the point where I wanted. Now don't still forget, like I said earlier, that the flap I use color gum to cut. I cut up exact of the width I want to have on my flap, while I folded the fabric ½ inch wider in order to allow me stitch where the color gum did not get to, right? So this is what I'm trying to do here. So the flap was gone with color gum, but then not a full color gum. I used ½ inch extra of the fabric. Now the ½ inch that was used on the fabric will be the inch I'm going to use to insert it inside this outfit. So now I'm trying to just balance everything properly, pinning the flap at the midpoints and then arranging the whole body nicely so that it doesn't shift when threading, right? So the essence of your pin, office pin, is so something like this, and make sure you have it enough in your office for your works, right? Because this is what it's being meant for us to use in our working. So now I have gotten to this stage, so I'm trying to pin the other flap, the other inner flap, because there is this double flap here, one inside and one outside. So now I have pinned the flap. Now I am trying to make sure that it's not popping up or protruding or bulging out, right? So now I am trying to pin the black parts, because I have actually taken the much I can in terms of the length that is showing on the main bodies of the senator, right? So I'm trying to pin it there together with the flaps so that it doesn't shift. So you see how you can do this. Now alternatively, you can as well use your hemming gum to hem them. If you can handle that properly, it's still going to give you the same result and a nice effect as well. So now I'm trying to bring the loops and then for fixing. So this will be how you will hold the loops. So I will thread this area, I will thread at the tip. Make sure your threading must be done at the tip, that's tip to tip. Now when you thread the tip and when you are arriving at the point where the black fabric is, you now pause and then insert these loops underneath the main senator outfit and while you thread on top. So you will see it as I progress in this video, right? So just stay tuned, watch the video to the end, and also make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for you to get notified whenever I make or post new videos. Now don't forget as well to turn on the post notification bell for you to have an instantaneous notification once I make or post new videos. Share my videos to your platforms, invite your friends, and watch and learn how to make male clothes in a very simple and self-explanatory manner. So I am trying to insert all of these loops now. So I will insert as much as I want, or as much as I want to be to use, right? So just trying to arrange it properly to make sure it laps properly on the outfit. So this is how I made this beautiful outfit. So you see how tasking, so, you have to have maximum control of the fabric in order not allow it to carry go where you don't know. All right, so you just have to be in charge of the fabric, and that's the essence of being a designer, right? So trying to make sure everything is in place. All right, so now once you arrange everything nicely, I'm trying to zoom, I'm trying to insert them in a time-lapse effect in order to be faster, right? So just carefully insert all of these, insert them, and then you now start threading. So when you finish inserting them, you will now thread, and make sure when threading you also arrange them properly so that it stays the way you had or you have positioned or programmed it to be, so that it doesn't give you a wrong finishing, right? So try to balance the down area, and also make sure you thread where you are meant to thread. So carefully thread all of this and lap it properly the way it should, right? So this is just um, a view on how to achieve something like this. So just watch the video and make sure you replicate something similar or better. So now I'm done threading it. So I'm threading the second line. So this is the second threading of the clothes. So this is the results I have. So it's now time for me to lock the flap, and I will leave 6 inches for the opening of the flap. So I have to start from here, lock up a bit, and then thread at the side, and then come down to the last point of this flap, right? So this is just how this size was gotten. Then it's now time for me to fix my pockets. If you have watched the video to this very point, I pray may you also have the strength to practice something like this or even better than this, and make it for your customer or for yourself, right? And for you to be patient enough to carry out all the necessary detailing that I'm trying to do here. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I will leave you here while you enjoy the rest of the video.